Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Victoria Samuels. The Cardinals just announced that they're releasing former ASU running back Eno Benjamin, a surprise move considering Benjamin has rushed for nearly 300 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. Meanwhile, the Cards pulled out an exciting win this weekend, giving them a 4-6 record and a slim chance at the playoffs. The Cards beat the Rams in Los Angeles 27-17, despite the team's numerous injuries across the field, including quarterback Kyler Murray, who was out with a sore hamstring. Backup Colt McCoy threw for 238 yards, and Budda Baker, a surprise starter who was supposed to be sidelined for 3 weeks, sealed the deal with an interception late in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, the Cardinals lose tight end Zach Ertz for the rest of the season with a knee injury suffered in yesterday's game. The Cardinals will hope to get the rest of their starters back when they play the 49ers on Monday in Mexico City. Another Arizona team got the win in LA just down the road from SoFi Stadium as the Wildcats took on the Bruins. Arizona had been slugging through a 4-game losing streak and were 20-point underdogs going into Saturday night. But the Wildcats didn't let the odds get them, beating the 12th-ranked UCLA 32-28 in one of the biggest Pac-12 upsets of the season. This is their first win over the Bruins since 2010 and their first win over a ranked opponent since 2018. They will now look ahead to Washington State next weekend. Nitro Rallycross returned to Phoenix for the 2nd straight year as Wild Horse Pass hosted the unique motorsport. These 4-wheel drive, 600 horsepower machines took to the track under the Arizona sun to see who would win the intense battle. This sport combines aspects from multiple other sports to create a high-speed, high-flying spectacle.
Nitro Rallycross is probably the most challenging event that you can do on 4 wheels. It challenges you in jumping, sliding, drifting, dirt, pavement. We even have races on snow.
You are battling ruts, you're battling drivers against you the whole entire time. The track conditions are always changing. As we start to drive, the water starts to dry up and the track starts to blue groove. So there's a lot of factors that you have to really put into play.
After a long, hard-fought weekend, Robin Larson, the current points leader, dominated the finals and walked away with his 2nd win of the season. Nitro Rallycross will be making its next stop in Quebec after the new year on January 21st and 22nd. Athletes often go to great lengths to achieve their goals. Cronkite News reporter Joseph Furtado caught up with one golfer who traveled thousands of miles to follow his dream.
Greig decided to leave his home in Scotland at 18 years old in hopes of living out his dream of playing professional golf. At the age of 13 years old, he began playing golf with the idea of one day playing golf in the United States. Luke was able to find his way to Arizona through an international recruiting service. Now he is a student athlete playing for South Mountain Community College.
He spoke about America probably since he was 16, and that was his goal. And 2 years later, when he was 16, he's got the opportunity, and what a fantastic opportunity that he's got.
When it comes to the courses here in the United States, they play much different than the link-style courses in Scotland, which has been a point of focus in Luke's game. However, that hasn't been the only struggle Luke has had to face while living here.
Golf's the easy part. It's the temperature that's the hard part. You know, I'm hitting the ball a lot further, the greens are a lot smoother. The only difficult part of the greens is the grain.
Separated by an 8-hour time difference, thousands of miles away from his family, staying connected has not always been the easiest thing to do. Though no matter where he goes, Luke says he always tries to keep his dad with him.
I have a little card. He runs a business, so I've got one of his little business cards in my bag that I always keep with me. That's just a sign for that he's always with me. And that's a big thing for me.
Luke will continue playing for South Mountain for 2 years as he prepares to try and make the leap to Division I golf. Though he has a long way to go in his career, his coach says he has made an impact on the team so far.
Usually a play like that comes a little bit more developed than someone that's played here their whole life, and so someone like him, it was real important just because, like you said, it validates of what we're doing internationally, and he just comes in, kind of can help every player a little bit more.
3 months into his journey here in the States, and Luke Greig is right on par to take his next step in his golfing career. In Phoenix, Joseph Hurtado, Cronkite News.
The Cougars finished out their season with a tournament at Dobson Ranch in Mesa over the weekend. That's all for today's Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Autria.